Good evening, grown-up children. I am so happy to be back here with you, with my earrings, and with a bedtime story for you. And today is gonna be yet another special story, especially for you if you ever feel like life is not fair. If you ever feel that perhaps you somehow feel disadvantaged or unlucky, or something's happening, like bad things are happening to good people. If you feel like there is no justice and it brings you some stress, then you will love this story. And this story is going to take place in a lighthouse. And we're going to again combine hypnotic induction so you can really relax very deeply into a trance-like state from which this story will seem to you almost like a dream. But whether you hear it consciously or unconsciously, it's designed to make you feel really relaxed, inspired, and safe, with some insights which will help you to change something within you, to connect to something deep within you that will completely erase that stress around life is not fair. So I hope that you are already comfortable and prepared with your pajamas, with something nice and a warm blanket, undisturbed. And before I take you to the lighthouse, I just wanted to say thank you so much to all the people who were contacting me and sending me their requests and questions on 𝗟𝗚𝗣𝗡𝗢𝗧𝗛𝗢𝗎, which is a new platform that I've been using to answer your questions. Or if you are stuck in indecisions and you are overthinking, then I can send you a short video which will not only inspire you but perhaps connect you to something that was your blind spot. And I would love to connect with you more, so thank you everyone. It's just such a pleasure to be finally speaking to you in person. And on 𝗟𝗟𝗡𝗢𝗧𝗛𝗢𝗎, you can really send me a message either as a text or a voice or a video, and I'm going to get back to you within 7 days, but usually way before that. So if you would like some inspiration and you feel stuck, or you just want to say hi, then please do that. Go to the link in the description, and I hope that we will connect soon. And for now, I really want you to invite you to embody your space, really inhabit your body, get into it, and only focus on the sounds that are happening outside. So focus on my voice, focus on all these crickets and critters that are taking you in the jungle in Costa Rica. And we are going to go in a lighthouse. If there was a lighthouse in Costa Rica right now, there is one. At least one. It happens in your imagination. See, it's so vivid, it's so bright. You can see this tall tower overlooking this vast ocean. And also hear the jungle being so alive on the one side, on the land side, just below it. And you find yourself at the very top of the tower. And it's not an ordinary tower. It is a magic tower. It is a tower where time or space doesn't exist. And so as you are going to be walking down in this spiral case, there will be windows, and you will take some steps looking out of the windows, and you will always see a snapshot of a story. Okay? And as you'll be descending, the story will be more and more being revealed to you. And again, if you do happen to fall asleep too early, then don't forget to put this video in your playlist so you can always come back. And for me personally, I love this story. It always brings me back into perspective when I think that something is happening that's not fair or not right. You feel stressed. It will really help you to come back to the truth of it. Okay, so imagine you are standing at the top of this beautiful lighthouse, and you will be descending. And first you look out of the window, and all you see is just this vast ocean and nothing else. And it's already dark, it's already night. You can hear crickets and cicadas and dogs even in the distance. You see, you have your guardian dog that is really looking out to you, making sure that you won't be disturbed. So you just welcome all these beautiful sounds. You will take them with you on your journey. And when you are done looking over this ocean and seeing how really beautiful it is, you only can see the ocean by the reflection of the moon on the surface of the water. You suddenly realize that it's late and you need to go back home. And there is no lift or elevator. You have to walk all these steps. It's this beautiful spiral case that goes from the very top of the lighthouse all the way to the bottom. And maybe you will find a surprise at the very bottom. But you have to go through all the steps and see all these windows, view in all these windows on the way. And so you start walking and walk down very slowly. There is absolutely no rush. You're enjoying being in this special place, but you already start feeling tired. And as you are descending step by step, you're relaxing your face and all your facial muscles until you reach the first window. And when you reach the first window, you look through it, but you don't see the ocean in here. You see a story, and you see one snapshot, one scene from a story. And what you see when you're looking out of this window is a story of a farmer. You see a farmer who had 7 beautiful horses, and you see them running around. It's this beautiful scenery where all these horses feel happy and well kept. And you overhear this conversation that the farmer has with his neighbor. And the neighbor tells him, "Oh, farmer, you are so lucky to have 7 horses. That's really something." And the farmer just says, maybe. And so you witness this beautiful scene. You don't know what it means yet, and you know you don't need to. Simply, you keep walking down. So you take another step, slowly taking the steps and walking down the spiral staircase. And with each step, your back is getting more relaxed, and your shoulders are also getting more relaxed, as well as your whole arms just becoming heavy, until you find yourself in front of another window. And so you stop for a moment and you look through this window and you see another story. It's almost like being in this strange theater where these stories are playing on this screen. It looks like a window, but really it's like a TV almost. But it's magic. There's no technology, it's magic. So you look through this window and you see another scene. You see another scene from this story. And what you see this time, when you look, you see the farmer being on his farm alone with no horses. And you overhear a conversation where the neighbor comes again and he says, "Oh, I've heard that your horses have run away yesterday. That's really unlucky. So sorry to hear." And the farmer simply says, "Maybe." And that's it. So you decide to walk even deeper. You go and descend, continue on this staircase. So step by step, as you are walking, you're really relaxing deeper and deeper with each step, feeling each foot being placed, this wooden staircase, one by one foot and another foot, one breath after another one, until you feel more relaxed than before, and you find yourself right in front of another window. So you look through this window and you see another scene from this story. This time you see the farmer, and this time there is 11 horses. They're all beautiful, the most beautiful horses you've ever seen. They run so happily in the garden, and they play and bite each other and groom each other as they do. And again, there comes the neighbor, and you just overhear the neighbor saying, "Hey, farmer, I've heard that your horses came back last night, and they also came with 4 more horses. Well, that's really lucky. You are so lucky. Wow." And the farmer simply says, "Maybe." So you witness this scene and keep walking down, again step by step. With each step, your body is a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more unwind, or your back feels heavy, almost like a rag doll, just kind of moving, relaxed, one step by another, deeper and deeper, until you come to another window. So you look through this window and you see another scene from a story, from the same story. And this time, you see a story where the farmer's son is lying in bed. He's lying in bed and his foot is wrapped into a cast. He's got a cast, and that's because he broke his ankle. And you witness a conversation. Again, you see in this scene the neighbor coming in and knocking on the window, and he says, "Hey farmer, I've heard that your son was riding one of those horses that came back, and those horses were so wild, that he couldn't really tame them, and he fell down and broke his leg. Is that true? That must be so unlucky. Now you have a son that cannot walk and cannot help you on the farm. That's really unlucky." And the farmer simply smiles, the soft smile, and says, "Maybe." And with that, the scene is over. Again, everything goes black. And so you keep walking step by step. You are about halfway through and you already feel so tired. You really feel completely heavy that you wonder if you will be able to go all the way down. And luckily, there is another window. So you just stop in front of it, and with curiosity, you see another scene. In this scene, you see there is soldiers being recruited in the town because there was a war. This whole story took place maybe 100 years ago, where there used to be farmers and soldiers and wars. I guess that could have been any time, but let's say it's 100 years ago. And all the men from the village had to be recruited and go to the war. And you overhear a conversation in this scene. You overhear a conversation where one of the soldiers, the main captain, he comes to the house and he talks to the farmer and says, "We have to take your son. He has to come with us to the war, and he has to be fighting for the country for 7 years." And the farmer says, "Well, I don't know if he's gonna be much of a use to you, but he can't walk. He's got a broken leg." And so the soldier looks at the son and see that he's got this big cast and really cannot move. And they are in a hurry. They really have to go all the way in the country to collect all the men to go to the war. So he just says, "You are lucky." And he leaves and doesn't take him. So the son stays home, doesn't go to the war. And the farmer just smiles and says, "Maybe." And with that, again, it's all black. And you keep walking even deeper on the staircase, deeper down, step by step, as the night is getting darker, and all these critters and these beautiful night birds are singing in a far distance, and cicadas. You feel that your body is entering a really deep state of relaxation and just ease and heavy release. You notice that your legs are getting very heavy too. So with the strength that you have left, you make a few more steps. Just a few more steps until you reach another window. And in this window, you see another scene from the same story. And this time, in this story, you see the farmer's son. He was maybe burning a candle or smoking a joint or something like that, and suddenly the furniture and the tablecloth was set on fire. And because he wasn't very fast with his broken leg, suddenly the furniture got on a fire and his whole room got on a fire, and he had no choice than to leave the house, jumping on just one leg. And when the whole family heard this whole noise, they all, the fire, it's very loud. If you've ever heard burning fire, it's crackling and making so much noise, and there was so much smoke. And so they went all outside of the house, and because there was not enough water at this time of the year, they just saw the whole house burning down completely into ashes, just burns down. And last thing that you see and hear is the little head from the neighbor coming up from a distance, just looking from the fence, and says, "Ah, farmer, that's unlucky. You burned your whole house." And the farmer just says, "Maybe." And with that, whoosh, it's all black again. The scene is over. So you keep walking, and you're almost at the bottom, just taking one step by another step. Your body's relaxing even deeper. Any remaining tension is being just washed away. Any remaining tension is just being washed away, as if by these waves, and maybe occasional gecko's laughter that you just heard in the distance. Either way, you're noticing how beautifully relaxed your body's feeling. Just so easy and almost tingly inside. And you're reaching another window. It is the last window before you reach the very bottom of the lighthouse. And so with curiosity, with the last remaining strength that your body really has, with the last remaining strength that you have in your eyelids, because otherwise they will be too heavy and just closing down already. You want to see the last scene from this story. And so you look through this window, and what you see is another day on the farm where there are some workers working through ashes and burned parts of the house, putting it all together, cleaning up so much mess. And you also see that underneath this ruin of this old house, which wasn't even a great house, to be honest, just a rustic house, because this farmer was never had much money. But what was found in these ruins? There was found a secret little room that didn't get burned, that nobody knew about, and that it only got discovered after this whole house was burned and they were doing more inspection and cleanup. It was a small, tiny little room, just like of the size of a, space where Harry Potter used to live under the stairs. Small, tiny space. They found a treasure chest. You see people opening this chest, and the farmer looking at it, and his wife looking at it, and his son is already healthy and jumping around. They opening this treasure chest, and you can't believe how much gold and sparkly things are inside. There is so much treasure, so much money, so much richness that's been buried there for so many years and nobody knew about it. And the very last thing that you notice is again the neighbor popping out from the neighborhood, from behind his fence, looking at it and says, "Oh, farmer, what? You found that treasure chest full of treasure in your house? You are so lucky, incredibly lucky, after what happened to you." And you know what the farmer says? Yeah, the farmer simply smiles and says, "Maybe." And with that, the scene is over. Whoosh. And now it's dark. It's dark, and you are almost just a couple of steps from reaching the bottom. And so you make these couple of steps. You can hardly move. And you see a little tiny lights, maybe some candles at the very bottom. And as you're coming closer, with the last strength that you have in your body, you see a jacuzzi there. That's right, a beautiful jacuzzi. It's almost like a flotation tank that you have been invited to. You can just go in and chill and even take a nap in there. And so you come closer and you get in and you see that the water is the perfect temperature. It's the body temperature and a little bit warmer, just to keep you warm but not too hot. And the water is a little salty, with the right amount of salt, so it holds you, and it just feels so beautiful, so warming, so safe. And unlike regular jacuzzis, this one is soft, so it doesn't have any hard corners where you can bump your elbow into it, or it doesn't have any of that. It's made of a squishy material. It's the squishy jacuzzi. So you're in it, and your body just dissolves into this salty water. You feel so heavy, as if you yourself were a piece of a rock. And your eyelids are closing, and you know that you feel completely safe in here. This whole environment is your sanctuary. Being safe in the water, just like in a womb. Taking a rest, time to recharge, time to recover, time to heal, time to sleep. And as you are almost falling asleep, on the brink of your first dreaming, when you start already seeing different shapes in the darkness behind your eyelids, you reflect on that story that you saw and that you witnessed. And you realize that Sometimes you look at your life, you look at different scenes without knowing the whole story, and you judge your story as being good or bad, as being lucky or unfortunate. Just notice. And also, you're noticing that wherever you are, you simply have no idea if the circumstances or if they will lead to a better outcome. You don't know. Often you judge something that appears to be amazing and it turns out to be a disaster. And on the other hand, all these things that you are afraid and you judge and are scary and unfair. Maybe you feel disadvantaged. Maybe you really feel like you're not good enough for anything. All of these experiences in your life, how do you know they won't lead you to some better outcome? How do you know that sometimes when you feel depressed, it's not time for you, a time of awakening, of something breaking inside, breaking patterns, having new expanded results and new opportunities in your life through all these challenges? How do you know? Can you really know what will happen tomorrow? Can you really know what's going to happen next week? Or next year? Can you really know what's going to happen next moment? Maybe. Maybe. So thank you so much for watching and for letting yourself go into the sleepy mode. Again, if you would like to connect with me, ask me any questions about my videos, or simply just say hi, or if you have something that you can't overthink about, send me a message and I will send you a short personalized video with some insights and guidance and some love just for you. You can find the link in the description. So I hope that you will have a beautiful night, feeling inspired, deeply relaxed, still dreaming about being in this squishy jacuzzi. And I'm going to see you in my next video. So subscribe if you haven't already. Please comment if you have something that you've noticed or particularly liked or particularly didn't like about this video. If you like those combinations of bedtime stories with hypnosis, then let me know or like this video and I will take it as a yes that you want some more. Have a beautiful night.